Hey, what's going on everybody? Desir here with another Dark Dimension video for you. Sorry about the delay in getting this out. I was actually finished with the global section maybe about a week or so ago. The reason for the delay is I wanted to make sure I didn't fall too far behind on my other videos. I want to make sure I stayed consistent with my Cosmic Crucible videos. I ended up doing that war video, and I also did a video for the spotlight raids for the Alpha Flight team. If you haven't seen those, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and check them out. For the global section, I decided to go in with Gambit, Black Knight, and the Cabal team. Now the main reason I decided to go in with Gambit over Nightcrawler is because of the gear cost. Gambit takes 2 full gear pieces, whereas Nightcrawler takes 3. So that does save me 18 of each of those mini uniques for the mutant pieces, along with the Crimson gear. So this is more of a speed method for me to get done with the section sooner, and this is also going to make it where it's going to be cheaper for my legendary section based on the characters that I'm taking. Now with that said, let's go ahead and start the attacks. When the first wave drop's done, Magneto will be going first and using the ultimate on us. That is going to put blinds on our entire team. However, Black Knight's retaliates are unavoidable, so we are able to still do some damage. When it gets to Black Knight's turn, we're going to use the special, and that's going to cleanse all the negative effects off of our team. When it gets to Namor's turn, we will be using the ultimate that's going to flip some positive effects and do a turn rewind to the enemy. For Leader's turn, we will be using the basic on the Absorbing Man for the taunt. For Gambit's turn, we're going to target the enemy Pyro and use the special to get a nice ability block on him. When the second wave ends up coming down, more pre-taunts will come. Iron Patriot, we're going to be using that ultimate on the Bishop that is adjacent to the Kang, so we get a defense down on Kang. For Black Knight, we will use the ultimate so we can do some pretty good damage to the enemy. And when it gets to Namor's turn, we will be using the special on the enemy Kang. We want to try to kill him as soon as we can. When it gets to Leader's turn, we will be targeting the enemy Omega Red and use the special. That's going to have some pretty good damage to him, and we want to try to kill that Omega Red as soon as we can, before he does the special or the ultimate, which would end up finishing our progress. Now that the third wave came down, Iron Patriot will be using the special on the Bishop because of the pre-taunt. For Namor's turn, we want to try to get rid of the Leader, so we're going to target him and use the basic. The assist comes in and we are able to finish him off. Now we're going to turn our attention over to the enemy Iron Patriot. For Gambit's turn, we will be using the ultimate, and that will do some pretty good damage to the enemy team and flip some positive effects. When it gets to Leader's turn, we're going to target the enemy Taskmaster and use the ultimate, and that clears out quite a bit of enemies. For Iron Patriot's turn, we're going to target the enemy Iron Patriot and do the basic. For Namor's turn, we're going to target the enemy Sylvie and use the special that was able to kill the Iron Patriot and the Sylvie character herself. Omega Red is very close to death right now. Because this wave is almost done, we will be using some basics to try to conserve some ability energy for the following wave that comes down. Now when this wave drops, we want to try to make sure to deal some damage to Dorm, and from there we do want to wipe. However, I don't do that here due to greed. For Iron Patriot, I end up doing the special that gets off of the zombie Juggernaut, and now I'm just going to tunnel down the Dorm. And this is the part that I get very greedy with. For Nemo's turn, I decide to target the enemy Kang and use the ultimate, and I am going to try to kill him off so I don't have to worry about him on the following attack. The smart play here is once you kill the Dorm or at least do damage to him, just use your basics and wipe, that way you can come in with fresh abilities for the following attack. The first hit that it did was 179 million damage, so it's actually pretty good and about 1/3 of the entire node. Attack number 2 took quite a bit of attempts to make sure I had the most optimal hit. The enemy Archangel always starts out with the ultimate, and we do retaliate and get him killed off. Rogue does the ultimate, and then the following wave will come down. We currently have 3 Pretons on the field right here. Iron Patriot's going to use the basic into one of them. Black Knight's up. We're going to use the ultimate into the big group that has the Preton in the middle of them. And now we're stuck on the other zombie Juggernaut, so Namor's just going to basic into him. When it gets to Leader's turn, we're going to use the special on one of the zombie Juggernauts. That calls his assistant and gets him killed off. For Gambit's turn, we're going to use the special into the Iron Patriot to get the ability block on him. So Black Knight is almost killed off here. We're just going to use the basic into the leader. Iron Patriot's up, we're going to basic into the leader again, that calls the assistant and kills him off. We killed 4 characters here, we're pretty much going to stop our attack at this point, as the enemy team is going to burn through their abilities, so we're going to go ahead and go towards the next attack. For attack number 2, we did 45.5 million points of damage, so we're doing some fairly good progress. I wasn't too happy about how I burned too many abilities on the first hit, but it is what it is, so we're going to go forth and do our third attack now. For the third attack, we have 2 Pretons that would be on the field. We have a zombie Juggernaut and a Bishop, while the Bishop is almost dead. Rogue always starts off by doing the basic, Black Knight counterattacks, kills her, and the following wave ends up dropping in with more Pretons. For Black Knight's turn, instead of using the special, I'm actually going to basic right here as a one to save his abilities. My main goal right now is to get rid of those Pretons, so I already killed 1 zombie Juggernaut with Namor's turn. Leader's up, we're going to just basic into the other Preton for the zombie Juggernaut, and that almost gets him killed off. Right there, Omega Red does end up doing the ultimate, does that turn rewind, and does some pretty devastating damage to us. So you can already see that attack number 3 doesn't go too well, but we are making fairly good progress. Again, with the Black Knight, I don't want to use the special, so I just end up doing the basic. For Gambit's turn, I end up using the special into the zombie Juggernaut that ends up killing him, and that's a mistake right there. I should have backed out right there as Dorm ends up dropping in, and now I don't do any damage to him, so all those characters are going to have revive once. For attack number 3, I only did 33.5 million points of damage, so I didn't do too great, and I left myself in a pretty bad position right now, so attack number 4 is coming right up. For attack number 4, there's 18 characters left on this node. Luckily there is no pre-taunt out here, however, Dorm is out here, and all these enemies do have revive once. To start this attack off, Iron Patriot's going to target the Kang and use the special. The Black Knight's also going to use the special on the Kang so I can get ability block on him, and I'm able to get a taunt on the Black Knight as well. So luckily Kang did not kill the Black Knight there. That was a check that I had to keep doing as far as resets goes. When it gets to Leader's turn, I target the middle clump of characters, I use the ultimate, and that does end up removing all the revive once on them. So I am able to make some pretty good progress. I was able to clear out most of this wave right here, and now all that's left is going to be that Rogue and Omega Red. Archangel and Nemesis do end up dropping down, but I don't want to burn too many abilities right now, so I'm just going to use my basics on the Rogue and prepare myself for attack number 5 as opposed to putting myself in another bad position. For attack number 4, I did 51 million points of damage. I believe I put myself in a pretty good position based on where my cooldowns are at and how many characters are left on this node. So let's go ahead and start attack number 5. For attack number 5, we have 12 characters left on this node, so we should be able to clear this node with this hit right here if we're smart about it. But we want to make sure that our cooldowns are in a very good position for that node 7. Our game plan for this current wave is we're just going to do our basics until that next wave drops, and then we're going to do a nice big burst damage and start building our cooldowns back up once we do that. So we did a really good job as far as controlling that wave. Our health is in a good position, our cooldowns are in a really good position as well. Black Knight's going to target the enemy zombie Juggernaut and use the ultimate. Gambit's going to use the special on that zombie Juggernaut. And for Iron Patriot, we're going to use that special. That's going to flip those positive effects, and we're going to be able to do some pretty good damage to that zombie Juggernaut. For Namor, we're going to target one of the Iron Patriots and use the ultimate so we can do a nice turn meter rewind. And for Leader, we're going to target the other Iron Patriot and use these basic into him. Iron Patriot's going to basic again, and that's going to chain around, and we got to kill both Iron Patriots right there. Black Knight's going to target the Magneto and do the basic. We get the striker hit. And Gambit was able to do a ping to get rid of the Magneto. We are also able to get rid of the Titania. Now all we have to worry about are 2 Absorbing Men and a zombie Juggernaut. We're in a pretty good position. We're going to try to basic through this right now so we can have our abilities ready for that node 7. So overall, Node 6 ended up taking me 5 attacks. The last attack was 128 million, so Node 6 really wasn't too bad with the Gambit. For Node 7, this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler alert. Gambit does not work great in Node 7. Node 7 took me such a long time, it was like banging your head against the wall, which you're going to find out in the next video. As far as my current rank on the leaderboard, I'm currently at 646. I don't know if I'm going to break that top 500 that I was initially pushing for. However, I'm definitely going to keep pushing the way I have been, and I should be able to still finish at a better rank that I did for my previous Dark Dimension, which I would still be happy with, but finishing top 500 is still going to be my goal. We'll see what happens. If you did like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.